Hey guys, Paul here. Welcome back to the channel. One of the biggest issue in Tesla Model Y is this really huge glass roof, because in the summer it gets really hot and the heat will penetrate through this glass roof and stuck in the interior of your Model Y, and that make your car work harder and use a few percentage from the battery while you park in the hot sun to keep the interior cooler. So in today's video, I will share with you the latest version of a glass roof sunshade for Tesla Model Y. I believe it's been more than a year now since I introduced the full shade or a sunshade glass roof retractable version for the Model Y before from Referral. Now they came out with the latest version, which is more affordable, smaller package, lighter, and I believe it looks much better than the previous version too. So in today's video, I'll show you what comes in the box of the latest version of the full shade from Retractable, and this is retractable sunshade for front and rear, so you can close all the way in and open all the way out, both front and rear. And I'll show you the quick installation of this sunshade. It's a lot easier than you think, a lot easier than the previous version, and at the end we'll see how it looks in my Tesla Model Y and how it functions. Now let's go. Here's the latest version of full shade from Retractable. This is 3.0 version. This is version 3 for Tesla Model Y. As you can see, the box, it's actually a lot smaller, really compact. I would say at least 4 to 5 times smaller than the first version, because the first version came in full. You cannot take anything apart, just one piece. Is really heavy, but this one is a lot lighter and a lot more compact, so that's why it's cost a lot less than the first version, and it's so much easier to install too. We'll see in the video. Now let's see what comes in the box. Here what came in the box. As you can see, it's not a one piece anymore. It came with 4 different pieces. This is the metal structure, left and right side, and this is the front and rear structure. So you have to install all these 4 together without any screw. I'll show you later after I show you all the components in here. So of course the instruction manual is really easy to understand, instruction manual, and also a white glove. So wear this when you install so you don't mess this one up. I did mess it up on the first version. And also a cloth, so you can put this cloth if you don't have a carpet like I do. Just put this cloth on the floor and then install the sunshade before you put it in your car. Let me rearrange it and then show you how to install this sunshade before we put it in my Tesla Model Y. As you can see, I rearrange it to be in the correct position. So the thicker part, as you can see, wider and thicker part, this is the front, and then narrower and thinner part, which is the rear, and we have 2 sidebar left and right. So in this instruction suggested to do the left. So this is left front first. So you insert this metal bar right here into this plastic part. This metal bar into this plastic part in the front first, and then insert the same thing to the rear. So metal bar, this into this plastic part. Again, there's no tools or screw at all, and this is just to open the shade partially, so it lets the front and rear stretch a little bit, because as you can see right now it's not quite long enough to put this bar in, but you can stretch side by side a little more, so the string has more leeway to open up the space for the sidebar. Let's install the front left first. So it's the front left, just lift it a little bit, make sure this string goes into the rail, and then just slide it in to that plastic piece right here. As you can see, this plastic, let me show you real quick. So this metal go into the plastic like so. Make sure the strings doesn't get caught up into when you slot it in, and that's it for the rear. And this one, make sure it's aligned properly. So the rear is basically the same thing. You just slot this in, the metal piece, into the plastic right here, and you just push it in when you slide this part in. So make sure you open up the shed a little bit and just slide this plastic part into the metal part like so. There you go. Make sure you open up the shed a little front, both sides, so it gives you that a little bit of stretch. So you can put this in. It needs a little work to maneuver to let you put it in. Make sure all the strings go inside here, the slot, and also this fall in place. This one go into the slot, both sides, here and here too, and pretty much it. When I first install this side, it will look off, it won't align and fall in place, but after I install the right side, especially the right front, then everything seems to start to fall in place. Make sure you open up the shade both sides so it gives you a little more room to stretch and let the rear part goes in. So as you can see, everything goes in and looks really good. Let me flip and show you on the other side. Here we go. So this is what it looks like when you put in the car. So this is the part that you will see underneath the glass roof. As you can see, this is the front and that's the rear. You can open and close both sides. Okay, before we go ahead and install the latest version in my Model Y, let me show you the comparison between the two versions. This is the first version, which came in the full sunshade. You cannot take it apart. As you can see, the color a little bit different. We'll see this one seems to be a little closer to my Model Y headliner. We'll see after we install it. And as you can see, the shading part that you open and close is off the color, so it's not the same color as here. It's like white with the metal, just aluminum color here. But this one, the newer one, is matching the color with the headliner, and even the handle right here matching the color with everything. So it's not only is more affordable than the first generation, it's also looks a lot cleaner, matching better in your car, matching with the headliner in my Model Y. And let me show you the material here. See, this is pretty much similar material, which has the foil heat rejection inside. Let me show you. So here's the shading part. So here's the heat protection part of the sunshade. As you can see on the inside, I just cut it up. One that I didn't use is the foil heat protection. So basically it has two layers, you can see. So double top and bottom layer to protect the heat. So when you open, it opens up two layers. So it's been really helpful in my Model Y since I was in California and I moved here. I know here's not as hot as California, but the sun it's a lot stronger here in Colorado, so it helps a lot reduce the heat in my Model Y interior when I parked. That's why I highly recommend to put one of these, whichever one you wanna install. But this one's a lot more affordable now. I don't think they selling this first version anymore, so they'll be only offering this one now. You see everything, the quality and the material and how to put it together. Let's go and install it in my Tesla Model Y. You can get the Ultrafort Full Shade 3.0 from Amazon.com. After you click the link in the description of this video, you will get a 10% off auto apply to your Amazon account. As you can see here, it's $249, so basically $250. And compared to the first version, it was $499, so basically $500. So the newer version, it's more compact. I think it looks much better than the first version and half of the price. After the 10% off, you basically getting this full shade for $225. That's really awesome deal for a retractable sunshade for your Model Y glass roof. Also, this price you'll get a free delivery. So the price included with the free delivery if you're getting it from Amazon.com. As you can see here, you'll get 25 promotional balance. This balance will apply after you click the checkout and ready to purchase. All right, now let's go and install it in my Tesla Model Y. Okay, before we start with the installation of the new full shade, I highly recommend clean up the rear trunk and fold the rear seat all the way down, because we are going to enter the full shade from the trunk. Okay, next, make sure you open up the sunshade all the way on the front and the rear, and the wider parts in first, which is because this is the front part. So make sure you flip it this way, as you can see, and then just angle a little bit, and then we can put it in the car from trunk area. Okay, now since the rear seat is folded, we can just lift this over the front passenger and front driver seat. Okay, next step here, don't forget to wear the gloves that came in the package. And as you can see, this plastic right here, we will insert this under the headliner, between the headliner and the glass roof. So this is the rear, remember, and both sides on left and right, just push it in like so. There you go, really simple. Now make sure you have to push it in all the way in. Okay, now the front part, remember we have this string loop, so you have to pull the string loop towards the back and then push the sunshade up and then push the string back, because this plastic part will go under the headliner, between headliner and the glass roof. Okay, before you put this up, make sure to put some kind of masking or painter tapes here, so it reduces from this plastic part scratching with your headliner on both sides. Now have it up, push all the way up, push all the way up on both sides, and then pull that string out and then try to push it into the headliner like so. Same thing on both sides. Okay, same thing on this side. Make sure the trick is to push it all the way up and then release the string and then insert this into the headliner. There you go. Make sure you push all the way in, and it gets into between the headliner and the glass roof. That's it on both sides. So when you want to remove it, so basically just pull this string back and then just remove those two clips left and right, and that's it. So it's really simple installation. You don't need the screw anymore. The only trick is that the space between the glass roof and the headliner is sometimes really tight. Make sure you push the sunshades all the way up with one hand, and then push with another hand, push it in to the headliner. The installation is done. As you can see, it's much easier than the previous version. You don't have to screw it into that bracket that lock into your headliner anymore. Just that pulling back and then push it back into the headliner. Super easy, super simple to install. Shouldn't take longer than 15 minutes or 20 minutes to install this one for sure. If you have extra hands, that would be a lot faster too. Now let me show you the overall look of this full shade motor wide glass roof sunshade from Ford. This looks really good. I'm surprised how close it is between the full shade and my Tesla Model Y headliner. As you can see, you can't really tell the difference in the color shade or the material. Looks really good. Wow, I am totally surprised. This is probably the closest to the Model Y, my Model Y headliner so far. You know, since I install a few sunshade for my Model Y glass roof, this is definitely the closest one, and it's so much lighter now compared to the previous version, and also it gives you a little bit more headroom. As you can see, it's only a few from this part right here to the glass. It's only, I would say, not quite an inch yet. So if I were to close this whole see, I closed the hole all the way. So this part right here, you only lose like less than an inch of head space between the glass to the sunshade. So this is what it looks like when it's all closed. So the rear part, as you can see, the rear part is actually longer than the front, so it will just stop right there. I believe the previous version it stopped right in the middle, and so if the front passenger wants the sunshade, wants some sun in the car, and the rear passenger can still have the whole shade back here. Let's say you have your kid sleeping in the back, but you want some sun in the front, and the weather's not too hot, you still can have the rear sunshade closed, and you can adjust it, you know, however much sun you want to get in the car, or open up all the way. It's really nice. I love the look of this new sunshade, especially the color. As I mentioned before earlier, now they matches the color of this material to the headliner material on the sunshade, and the headliner material happens to match my Model Y headliner really well. As you can see, love that matching color. It's not like white anymore or gray anymore in the middle. Now it's all matching. Looks really nice. Looks super clean. And I think best part is the installation and the price. Now I can just close it down in the front and open the rear, or close the rear altogether. Forgot to mention one thing. The difference between this version and previous version is the previous version has this magnetic tab right here on both ends of the front and rear sunshade, so when you close together it helps sticks together. But sometimes that had an issue because the magnet was too strong, so when I want to open it, sometimes stuck. But now I no longer have that magnet. It just closed. You might have to, you know, close it a little bit better than before. Before it just, you know, just stick together by itself. Now you don't have to. It doesn't stick together. You just have to use your hand to push it together, and that's it. It's closed all the way. There's no more sunlight throughout, and the space and gaps around the sunshade looks really good. I don't see any big gaps at all. Let me show you the overall gaps. As you can see, the gaps looks really good. There's no big gaps. Some sunshade has a little gap in the front here and in the rear, mostly this front end and the rear part of the sunshade. To be honest with you, I'm actually surprised how good this looks in my Tesla Model Y compared to the previous one. All the coloring of the headliner and the sunshade and the gaps between the headliner and the sunshade, also of course the color of the shade itself is a huge improvement from the previous version, and now looks really nice, and it protects the heat from the glass roof. Now I'm ready for this year summer to come. Let me know in the comment down below what you think about this new full shade glass roof sunshade for Model Y from Ford. I'll make sure to put the link in the description down below and special discount code for you too. Thank you so much guys for watching today's video. Don't forget to click like if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome contents like this. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.